Back with us now, former U.S. Attorney Joyce Vance and Republican strategist Susan Del Percio joining us as well. So, Susan, Donald Trump's grip on the base appears to be solid.
It is rock solid. There's no doubt about it, Andrea. This will not hurt him. The fact that that he has to take it to the Supreme Court, and Joyce can talk more about this than I. It will delay the case going forward, and it has already, and that only helps him run his campaign from a courthouse instead of on the campaign trail, which works with his base. Now, I don't know if he wants to be having this conversation in July and August when he's done with the convention, but for right now, it's not hurting him.
And Joyce, the court cases might be helping him, as a matter of fact. But right now, with this rejection, is it unlikely, as we were discussing earlier, that the Supreme Court would even delay it further and take the case? Is it more likely that Judge Chutkan can now reschedule her trial and start pretrial motions and jury selection?
So that's entirely in the hands of the justices, Andrea, and it will depend on whether they want to hear this issue. It's an important issue of first impression. That means the courts have never decided previously whether a president has immunity from criminal prosecution. The Supreme Court may wish to take the case just to put its stamp on it, but frankly, this is a compelling decision. It's one that they could, if they are of a mind to, simply permit to stand without weighing in on their own.
So now we've got the fundraising releases from former President Trump, who was called Citizen Donald Trump, not President Trump, by that appeals court panel. So with bolded, breaking news from Trump, I have no presidential immunity, end the witch hunt against President Trump. So the flyers are coming fast. They're flying through the
They're flying through it. You know what they're saying? And please help me pay my legal bills, because that's what he's using all his campaign money for, Andrea.
$50 million.
It's crazy, but it's amazing that he will raise a lot of money off of that right now. It works towards his base. So people who can barely afford the $25, $50, $100 are going to give it to Donald Trump, because in some way they feel like they must help him, which is just so sad.
So, Joyce, just to paraphrase what was said by one of the hosts on Late Night, he spent $50 million of campaign money to get an $83 million judgment against him. That doesn't seem like a brilliant business decision. But in any case, how soon do you think this could all result? If the Supreme Court does not take it, if that appeal, which he has till Monday to file, if they don't take it, if they just deny cert, how soon could Judge Chutkan get back in gear and get that case started?
Right. So if that were to happen, it could be pretty quick. The court would issue a mandate that would restore jurisdiction to Judge Chutkan. That's sort of the legal mumbo jumbo for how a case moves from one court to another following an appeal. And she would then be able to proceed full force. That could happen as early as mid-February, which this order seems to contemplate.